Buying a home is exciting, but let's be honest. Sometimes the vocabulary makes it feel like you are learning a new language. Words like escrow, contingencies, or appraisal can sound intimidating if you haven't been through the process before. So in this video, I want to break down some of the most important real estate terms you'll hear when buying a home. And I'll explain them in everyday language with some comparisons you can actually relate to. Let's jump in. One of the first terms you'll hear is earnest money deposit. This is basically a deposit you put down after your offer is accepted to show the seller that you're serious. Think of it like putting down a deposit to reserve a hotel room or an Airbnb. It's your way of saying, hold this for me, I'm not just window shopping. The good thing is, this money isn't lost. It gets applied towards your down payment or closing costs when the deal goes through. But if you walk away without a good reason, the seller could keep it. That's why we use contingencies. More on that next. Contingencies are your escape hatches or safety nets. They are built into the contract to protect you. For example, let's say during the inspection you find the roof is falling apart, or maybe your loan doesn't get approved. With the right contingencies in place, you can back out and get your earnest money deposit back. I like to explain contingencies as if this, then that rules. If the inspection goes well, then you move forward. If the appraisal comes in at value, then you move forward. And if not, you got the right to pause or walk away. Now, speaking of appraisal, here's what that is. The lender doesn't just take your word or the seller's word on what the home is worth. They send out a licensed appraiser to give their professional opinion of value. Think of it like trading in your car. Before the dealership gives you a check, they look at the car and say, okay, here is what it's worth. Same thing with houses. The appraiser protects both you and the bank from overpaying. Inspections are like taking a used car to the mechanic before you buy it. A professional inspector comes in, checks the systems, the structure, and looks for anything that may need repair. Now, no house is perfect, even new ones, so don't be alarmed if the report is long. What matters is identifying big issues. From there, we can negotiate repairs, ask for credits, or decide if the home is still the right fit. Closing costs. These are the extra expenses to finalize the deal. A good analogy is ordering something online. You see the item's price, but at checkout there's tax, shipping, maybe a gift wrap fee. Closing costs are the checkout fees of buying a home. They cover things like escrow services, title fees, lender fees, and recording with the county. They usually add up to a few percent of the purchase price, and I'll always help you estimate them ahead of time. Escrow. This one confuses a lot of people. Escrow is basically the middleman in the transaction, a neutral third party. Picture escrow as the referee in a sports game. They don't play for either team. They are there to enforce the rules, hold on to the ball, in this case, your money and paperwork, and make sure nobody scores before they are supposed to. Escrow makes sure everything is fair and follows the contract. Title is just the legal way of saying who owns the property. Think of it like your car's pink slip. It proves ownership. The title company makes sure that when you buy the home, no one else has a claim to it. That means no old loans, no long-lost relatives popping up saying it's theirs. You get clean, full ownership. Pre-approval. Before you even start looking seriously, you will want to be pre-approved by a lender. This is like getting a credit card limit before you go shopping. It tells you what you can spend and shows sellers you are serious. It doesn't mean you've borrowed the money yet. Just that the bank has looked at your finances and said, yes, we're good to lend you up to this amount. And finally, the possession date. That's the day you get the keys, step inside, and call the house yours. It's basically the finish line after the whole process. Sometimes it's the same day as closing. Sometimes it's a few days later. But that's when it officially becomes your home. So those are some of the biggest real estate terms you'll hear as a buyer. My goal is to not just throw words at you, but to make sure you understand them and feel comfortable every step of the way. Whenever we work together, I explain this as they come up, answer your questions, and make sure nothing feels like a mystery. Because buying a home should feel exciting, not like you're cramming for a vocabulary test. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, subscribe to my channel to stay tuned and get more tips.